of YouTube.
Okay,
Got
we're
it.
recording.
Thanks, sis. Thanks.
Okay,
Megan, you're up.
go.
Take it away.
Okay, hello, and welcome to our Sunday night team huddle. It is September 15th, 2019, and I'm Megan Regan, Executive Area Manager, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you tonight. And just to introduce the ladies who are going to be sharing, they are going to be sharing their takeaways and their aha moments and just things that spoke to their heart from the Peer Impact Training in Chicago. We spent the last days just being poured into by the top leaders in the company, hearing stories of inspiration and encouragement and redemption, and also heard some hard truths too. And we just had so much fun building connections and just spending time together. And so so there were 14 of us actually that went. And out of those 14, 11 were first-time attendees. I think that is so awesome. And I'm just so proud of those women for making that commitment to their business. And I think what they'll find is that the commitment was well worth the sacrifice, because with every commitment, there is a sacrifice. And so the facts are, let's see, and I have them here. I wrote them down, that 58% or the independent consultants earn 58% more commissions and overrides than those who did not attend. And also consultants are 6.7 more likely to promote to district manager. And so that is so exciting and so awesome. And so I can't wait to see how the attendees and just the women who went use what they learned and just the momentum that we have coming off of this to propel their business forward. And so I want to have our first speaker, Katie Mertens. Are you ready? You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
I am ready. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. So thank you, Megan. First of all, I just wanted to share a little bit about how I actually ended up in Chicago, like making it, like going to Chicago. Melanie Lee had asked me a couple weeks ago if I was going, and I actually told her no, because I just felt like I just like wasn't in a place in my business that I should go. And actually it should have been like the exact opposite feeling. But I told her no. And then about a week later, I ended up talking to Tara a little bit, and I was just like, just kind of in a place, I guess. And basically, I told Tara that I wanted to have my first Arbonne party. I've been in this business since January, and I've actually never had a party because, well, I just didn't know like that's what you did, I guess. And so I had a party. 3 people came, and of those 3 people, they all at least signed up as a PC or are going to sign up as a consultant. And so I thought that was really cool. And I was talking to Tara about it, and basically she texted me a couple days later and was just like, I really think you should like go to Chicago this weekend. And I was like, yeah, maybe. She's like, well, actually, I already talked to Melanie about it. They have room, and like, what's your excuse? And I was like, oh crap, I don't have any excuses. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't be going. And so in that moment, I was just like, it just kind of like hit me like, okay, no more excuses, Katie. Like that's, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to Chicago. And so I registered on Sunday night during our team call a week ago today. And then a couple things happened this week between when I registered and getting in the car to go to Chicago. My town, I'm sure you guys maybe saw on the news or just heard about it, but I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where 3 tornadoes basically wiped out our town on Tuesday. And the next day, Wednesday night, we actually, most of our like east side of the state flooded. And so it's been very like emotional and just very sad. And I had texted Megan and Melanie, and I was like, I don't know like what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go. But then a couple hours later, I was like, no excuses. And so I guess I ended up going to Chicago, and it was honestly, I think I would have been upset had I not gone. Like, I think I would have regretted it big time. I made so many new friends, and I learned so much, and it was just really impactful and really cool. So I guess my biggest takeaway is that like I don't even know like how to put this into words, but basically like Arbonne is so much more than like selling and promoting, and like I really just feel like sorry, I have like a little bit of a head cold, so I probably but I really just feel like Arbonne is such a huge family, because I went with 6 other girls in Megan's minivan, which I am not directly connected to at all. And just for them to like open their arms and open their homes and open the doors to your minivan, Megan, like I just allow me to come to Chicago with you guys. Like I just thought that was honestly so cool, and I'm so thankful. But I probably am talking too much and too long, so I just want to say one more thing. Yeah, just thank you for allowing me to come. And then I don't know if Tara's on here, but Tara, thank you for encouraging me to go to Chicago, because it was really cool and I learned a lot, and I feel like I'm definitely like going to be bigger and better.
Yay. Well, Katie, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for coming. And for those of you that don't know, my minivan is Bad A. And so, okay, we'll go on and we will have Renee.
Oh,
Hello. Can everyone hear me? All right, fabulous. So yes, I was one of the lucky 7 to be in the minivan, the big bad minivan that we've kind of called it that, right? From our training. But anyway, great training. The speakers are absolutely amazing. And so many things that I learned from this training. So many new people that I met too. And that was just one of the best parts of the whole trip. Joining up with another team from Colorado and getting to know them better. And then even the people around us as we were sitting during the training, and just being a part of that big culture was awesome. It was just so much fun. I have a lot of notes and all the speakers, I have like nuggets from every speaker. So I'll kind of go through it kind of quick. But the big overall message from everyone, consistency obviously is huge. They all talked about that. Consistency, momentum, be your best employee, don't ever quit, don't ever give up. Don't be afraid of failure. And I love how they all talked about, I lost my region 3 times, or I lost my district 2 times, or whatever. Someone said they lost every single one of their qualifications at some point. And my mouth was like, wow, it's just amazing. And someone said, get back up one more time, then you fall down. And I thought, oh, I love that. That's perfect. And someone else said, work your way to failure to MVP. You have to work through failure to get to MVP, which I thought was also awesome too. Shelly Nelson, something she said, mind your minutes, the hours take care of themselves. Loved that. Someone else pointed out those numbers, 1440, that's how many minutes we have in a day. So what am I doing with those minutes during the day? Where am I putting my effort? That's going to give me my future that I'm looking for. And then Marcy Van Eber, her quotes, fear and doubt will take you out. Those thoughts don't serve me. Don't let anyone take away your power. Huge, those were huge words. And I love this quote. Arbonne has so many products for everyone, from the basket to the casket. So I loved that. Cracked up. There were just so many fun. Arbonne is just so fun. I mean, it was just laughs and laughs, but stuff that made sense, and that was important too. The biggest thing, one of the biggest things that I walked away from that still is stuck in my head is prepare for impact. She said, prepare for impact, not if, but when. And, it's not easy to talk about, but things come up in people's lives, and, there's no guarantees, there's no promises. Anything can happen at any time. And when that does happen, when I need time to take off work to take care of whoever that has a need, that has time, that needs time, my time, I want to be able to have that time. That's really important. My parents are getting older. My husband's parents are already older, and I feel bad that I wish I could be there more for them than I am right now. So my parents are quite a bit younger than them, but they're already getting to that point. And it's really important for me to be able to be there when they need that time. And they've already started some of that. So that's a big why for me. Nikki Smith said, get up one more time, then you fall down. And this is another, and I thought, oh my gosh, so true. My kids are, being a parent is the hardest job ever, like in the world. And this year already, starting the school year with girls and teenagers, and it's been one rough week with my daughter. And I will work my butt off and gets what she needs and is successful and secure. And you know what? Arbonne is just that important too. So I am going to make sure that I work that hard to make my business grow so that I can also help other people and their lives grow too. Nicolette Drain, always work for the what's next. So you've got your 4 new team members. Don't sit back, get going right away. Get who are your next 4 going to be. Don't ever stop and wait. Don't abandon your goal. Debbie Neal, oh my gosh, that woman's amazing. It was so fun to see her in person. My cheeks hurt, I think, from laughing so hard. And I think she even said at one point that she's more of a comedian that sometimes on the stage, but everything she says makes so much sense. She is a little bit intimidating, but she was really good. I love that she hates the word average. If you put yourself there, you'll stop working to your full potential. You will always just be average. So that was a big takeaway from her. And the snowball, you start small, but she said, don't worry about what you say to people when you're reaching out. And that's something that I've always written down and copied and pasted in my own personal notes and revised as needed. That was big. But she shared so many stories of things she did wrong. And she's like, people still signed up. They still signed up. And that snowball just gained momentum, and that momentum grew and grew and grew. And so that was really fun to hear. Carrie Kane, that lady is amazing too. She has 5 kids, and it's really hard to believe. She's just so cute. Be genuine and curious when learning about others, which I think for Arbonne speaks so much about so much class. You know, we're not pushing this on people, we're sharing. And we want to genuinely get to know people. And that's first, making the connections and the relationship. So something else she said, everyone's wearing a sign that says, make me feel important. And that's true. So something to think about when I'm reaching out. Mickey Lauber, who is an older lady, I loved her. I could connect with her because she hates public speaking. And, you know, I'm a teacher, I teach, and you can give me 100 kids and I'm absolutely fine. You give me 10 adults in that building and I'm a nervous wreck. And so could totally connect with that. But she talked about a book, Present or Perfect. And she said that's a good one for self-doubters. And so that's one I'm going to be looking into. And then Carrie Messner said, what 2 things do you do every day that is not serving you? Replace it with work. And I thought about that and I thought, oh, that makes so much sense, because now that I'm back to school and teaching, you know, the summer was awesome. I felt like I did a ton with my business and I was just on this great momentum, and then I had to go back to work and it's been tough. And so this was great for me. What 2 things do I do every day that I can change and replace with work? So those are my big takeaways. Great experience. Thank you, Megan. It was so much fun.
Thanks, Renee. I'm glad you had so many good takeaways, and I think there are many more awesome conferences in your future. So, Nicole, do you want to unmute yourself and share?
All right. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Okay, I kind of have, I had to pick 5 things out of the hundreds of things that I wrote down. So I'll try to be quick here, but it was amazing. So thankful that I went. Honestly, guys, just being a part of the community and just seeing what Arbonne really is all about. And, I think just being in Fargo, it can feel small. And so being there, I was just oh my goodness, this is so much bigger than I ever realized. So just so fun to be there. But okay, so quick things that I took away. Debbie Neal, like Renee said, she's just a firecracker and incredible. Momentum. You have the ability to create it whenever you want. So we all have the same products, company, opportunity. The only thing that's different is you. So choose today, choose tonight to start working your business, and consistency or consistent activity compounded over time is going to create massive momentum in your business. Debbie also said, be committed. She said, momentum only lasts as long as a bath, or motivation only lasts as long as a bath. I'm sorry. Be all in. You have made this decision, so commit to it. The third thing, perfection. This was such a big one for me. This is like probably my biggest struggle that I struggle with in my business. Perfection leads to procrastination. I struggle so much, just like when I feel like I don't have the right words or the right verbiage, or just like don't feel qualified or adequate enough. I realize that I'm just not working my business because I'm just too afraid to reach out. And so that one really hit home for me. She said, you do not have to be perfect to share Arbonne. And I love the way that she said it too. She was like, when you're in conversation with somebody and you're talking about, the person you love, your significant other, or your kids, you're not in a conversation and like, how am I going to bring this up? Like, how do I talk about my kids? How do I talk about my husband? Right? Like, we just naturally talk about them because we love them. And so Debbie was just talking about, like, why are we not doing that same thing with Arbonne? Like, we love Arbonne. And so why do we overthink it so much instead of just sharing it with people? And so that one really stuck out to me. So perfection leads to procrastination. Don't wait to be perfect. Just go out there and share Arbonne with people. Fourth thing, consistency. Annie Graft, oh my gosh, love that girl. She said, do the do and see where your business is 1 year from now. So just like momentum and commitment, consistency, again, like Renee was saying as well, to just do the do. And I'm excited to see where my business is in 1 year. And Lene and I were talking about this too. We took a picture together in front of the stage, and I posted that on social media today. And then we were talking in the car, and I was like, Lene was the only one there from my downline. And I was like, we will go back to Impact next year with 50 girls in this picture. So excited to see just where our businesses are in 1 year from now. Fifth thing, in the words of Debbie Neal, I'm not toning down for the reaction of anyone. So you guys just be proud of our products, be proud of this company, and be proud of this industry. I was just on a walk with my husband tonight, and I was like, I never thought I would say that I'm proud to be a network marketer, but I am so proud to be in network marketing because of the company that we represent. So those are my 5 things.
Thank you, Nicole. That was awesome. I love your big, big vision. And that's definitely just sets a great example for all of us. So thank you. Okay, Michelle Bridges, you can unmute yourself.
Oh, Megan, hi, everybody. That trip to Chicago was so awesome. The group that we had of 7 of us, I thought that was such a great trip, all of us together sharing and getting to know each other, building relationships. The training, there were so many people that I listened to on SoundCloud or YouTube. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love these ladies, and here they are. I get to see them on stage. Like Laura Lance, I think her name was Kelsey Park, Kendall Trevors, Mickey Lever, and not to mention, of course, Donna Johnson and Debbie Neal. All those ladies and those other ones, I can't remember all their names, but since the beginning of my journey on Arbonne, I hope everybody can hear me. I have been hearing the same message from kind of like every aspect of my life. The messages you hear from church, just in your career, how you feel like things are going, friends, family, all those things all come together. So I kept on hearing the same messages, like believe in yourself and believe in Arbonne, be bold, don't be afraid. I'm already all that I need to be. God has created us to be great. And there is no room for shame. I loved that. You fail to succeed. dream big and level up. That was awesome too. Become the product of the product. I so believe in that because I'm all about trying to not have an imprint on our environment as much, and not having chemicals on our bodies, and being healthy and nutrition. And this just was so inspiring to hear all these women to encourage and feel the culture of Arbonne. Everybody, that's all they are, is help. We're here to help each other, to encourage each other, and to challenge each other. And it's not about me, and believe in the power of your presence. That was awesome. And the big takeaway I got was do your daily dues. Got to do it. Thank you, Megan, for everything. And Renee, thank you for being my sponsor. I love all you ladies.
Thank you, Michelle. I loved your takeaways. And those are good reminders for all of us too, that we are enough. So, okay. Next person I think I have Mel.
Okay. It's so fun because like I love hearing other people's takeaways because a lot of them overlap. So I'll try to skip the things that people have already said. But I just kind of highlighted a few things. Kind of like the biggest thing that I took away was basically like we all know what to do to grow our businesses. Like it's not some like secret and that we all just need to stop overcomplicating it and just do what we know to do. And then the question just becomes, are we willing to do it? So I appreciated that because I think I can get really overcomplicated in my brain. And it's like, no, we all know how to do this. We know what needs to be done. It's basically just like the getting started steps over and over and over again. Are we just willing to continue to do it? So yes, obviously Debbie Neal is a queen. She's amazing. And wait, so when I said that, I like that she said, your business will be as big as your level of leadership. So you have to keep on growing. So your business is not going to grow past you. And that I really was like, oh, that's so, it's like, there's so many reasons why personal development is important, but I felt like that really encompassed a lot of it. And so I'm huge about like I am statements and affirmations, and she said one that I've never heard before that I freaking loved, and I'm going to add to my list. And so I thought I'd share it in case you wanted to add to yours, but it's, I am the leader of thousands. And I thought that was a really powerful statement, and really cool. Carrie Kane, just like such a doll, like seriously want to be her when I grow up. So we've always heard like 40 faces, like 30 to 40 faces a month. And for some reason that has always kind of freaked me out. And she said 40 conversations, focus on having 40 key conversations. And for some reason, I know that's just like a one word change, but for some reason that just made me go, oh, I can have 40 conversations. So I just thought I'd share that in case it like does that for you too. Laura Landis, I think that's her name, said chase the character, not the title. And I thought that was just really kind of a good heart check. This was already said, but it's good enough to say it again. Laura Lance, there is no room for shame in Arbonne. And I just like, whew. And she was like, if you are carrying around any shame, you leave it in your seat today and you walk out of here without it. I did record after she said there is no room for shame in Arbonne. I was like, oh dang, this is going to be good. And I flipped on my video and I recorded the rest of her like 4-minute talk, and I can send it to the group because it was just crazy powerful, you guys. Like it was a 4-minute talk, and we all were like, what just happened? That was like one of the most powerful moments of the day. And she really highlighted the importance of gratefulness. And so what are you grateful for in your business right now? So whether you're a team of one or a team of many, whether you're doing great or whether you're, working back out of a hole or whatever, wherever you're at in your business, what are you grateful for right now? And then of course, the wonderful Donna Johnson, just basically I've heard her say this before, but I just love like what matters most is what you do with what you have been given. So what have we been given from our gifts and abilities? What have we been given in this business, and what are we going to do with it? So there was so much, so much, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to go, and we can't wait to just bring like a freaking army of people next year.
Thank you, Mel. Those were awesome. Kaylee.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. I had a lot of the same things that have already been said, but I feel like a thing that I really took away was all about just like being brave. I have that like written down several times in my notebook. Let's see, like Carrie Kane, one of the things that I started actually, she said, your courage could change someone else's life forever. And that kind of stuck with me because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I don't have a lot of courage, and I don't know, just thinking about that if I have the courage and I reach out to somebody and they do this, like I could be changing their life forever. And that just kind of hit me hard. And then I don't know who said it, but they said that someone is praying for me to be brave. So that was also kind of a reality check. Like if I hold back because I'm scared of judgment or rejection, I kind of feel like that's being selfish of me because it's not about me. Like I just need to be brave because there's so many other people out there who could benefit from this. Let's see here. And then Debbie Neal also said something, a couple of things that, hold on, I have notes everywhere. She said, don't let anyone discount what you have. And I think that was kind of a big thing too that stuck with me. I feel like sometimes when people don't, like I don't feel like I have that support, or they don't want to buy stuff from me, they don't want to listen to what I have to say, I feel like I get really down, but I know how great Arbonne is, so I just have to remember that. And Debbie Neal also said that we all have the 100% chance to be the 1%. It's just all about you, what you do with your business and how you work it. So those are the things that I mainly took away from it, just being more brave, I guess.
That's awesome, Kaylee. Thank you. And I know Mel says too, but I think that for those of us that know you, that we can just see the changes happening in you, just your confidence and your courage. And it's super fun and exciting to see. So you should be proud and just keep on working. So next person, Lene. Are you here, Lene?
Sorry, I don't know if it's our internet. It just keeps cutting out. So a couple of the nuggets that I got from it was my Arbonne celeb, Annie Graft. When she got up on stage and she just said, like, get uncomfy, that just like really like stood out to me because I'm one that I'm just like super hesitant and like still in that stage of like, I don't want people to judge me yet, where I just like, I need to completely just wipe that free. So yeah, when she said just get uncomfy. And then she also just spoke about the I am statements, which I'm currently like, I do it some days, but also like what I heard throughout the whole conference was just like consistency. So like the I am statements of being consistent can like seriously, I think just like completely change my whole mindset. And then the like last big nugget that I got away from Debbie was when she said it's so crazy how when your boss, like deadlines are key. So her example was like when your boss will give you like a big project and a deadline of like, you know, September 15th, we will work our butts off to like complete that project by September 15th. And so she's like,
why don't you do that for your business and your company and yourself? Like, you are going to work so hard for someone else. Why are you not willing to like work that hard for your own business? And so that was like the biggest nugget I think I took away from it, was just like, I need to set deadlines, and I need to work so hard for myself, just as hard as I'm like working at my other job. Why am I not doing that with Arbonne, being my own boss? So I think that one was definitely like the major nugget that I got through. So Chicago was amazing.
Thank you, Lene. That was one of the ones that I took away too. And I kind of thought of it as a hard truth that like, oh, like she's right. So thank you for sharing that with us. Is Megan Circle on? I know she was having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, she's been texting me. She like for the life of her cannot get on. She's even like restarted her computer. So she said she will comment when we post a video
Okay.
what her takeaway was. So
Okay. And so we have one more, maybe two. Amy Ford is going to share with us.
Hey guys, Amy. So I actually went to Impact in Sacramento, so not the Chicago one. And a blast going. So so two things. One is one of my takeaways is just belief, I guess, in Arbonne and the product, and just seeing how many people were there, how excited they were, seeing the people up front talking, just, I don't know, did something in my heart of belief. Like, I love the products already. I loved Arbonne, but there's something, seeing the bigger picture, that just increased my belief in all of this. And okay, so three things. So the second thing is seeing the new MVPs when they were up front, hearing their voice shake and seeing their bodies tremble. They're so scared. I'm like, okay, they're just like me, and I can do this. If they've made it to MVP scared, then I can also. I don't have to be a certain kind of a person. I don't have to have it all together. I don't have to have all of the confidence. I can do it where I'm at right now. I mean, grow along the way, but if they can, I can. And the last thing that I took away is Carlita was sharing about comfort zone, and how we think it's a comfort zone, but how many times do we actually bump up to our comfort zone in a day, and that is actually uncomfortable. Like, I wish I had more money for this. I wish I had more time for this. And we think it's our comfort zone, but that's actually keeping us uncomfortable. And she challenged us, like, how many times are we bumping up against that comfort zone in a 24-hour time to like write down our I wish I coulds. And those are the reason, that is actually our uncomfortable zone. And to get out of it and not actually see it as a comfort zone. So that was one of my huge takeaways.
That's awesome. I love that. And I'm sitting right beside Amy, so I heard it in stereo. It was so awesome. So I'm actually in California. I flew out yesterday morning to come to the Impact here and to work for a couple of days. And so I'm just so grateful for Megan. I know she had to hop off because her little peanuts were coming home from being gone for the weekend, but I can't even tell you guys how much just seeing every one of you step up tonight and share, it just, I'm not going to get emotional. It just blesses my heart. And I felt the same way last week. Like, I got off and to see what you guys are stepping into, to see the growth, and to know, letting my hindsight be your foresight, to know where you guys are headed and to know what is possible for you. And just like Amy said, that if they can do it, so can you. And all of the ladies that were brand new MVPs that shared yesterday, they had incredible stories, and they overcame things, and they had to work through all of their things. But like she said, they really weren't polished. They weren't this super professional or super well even articulated speakers. They just kept doing the next right thing. They kept being consistent. They kept showing up, and who they showed up for was themselves and their team. And just like Lene was saying, you guys show up. Every one of you is showing up for a job that you're probably going to tomorrow. And if most of you were honest, if you didn't have to work for the paycheck, you wouldn't show up for it. You'd stay home and you'd do something else. And if you're not working for a job, you're working for your family and you're showing up for your kids. And if we were honest, you know, we would, if we had like a full-time nanny, we maybe would sleep in, right? So it's those things of show up for yourself in this business. And I think just the thing I want to leave you guys with, for those of you that were at Knoxville last weekend and those of you that came to Chicago and Sacramento yesterday, is you took time away from your family, from your schedules. You made a sacrifice of your time. You know, you took a long road trip. A lot of us did over the last couple of weekends. You spent money on a hotel. You spent money to go to the conference. You spent money to go out for dinner and things like that. So do not waste it. Don't waste it. It's the 15th of the month, you guys. And anybody who wants to be into qualification for area manager by the end of this month, there is enough time. And I put 10,000 out there to be an area manager because that's really that place that you're going to feel like, okay, I'm really getting my feet under me and I'm seeing the return. So Christy Moody just texted that Michelle Critton is on. So Michelle, before I close this out, I want you to share. And then I'm going to share just my last thoughts. So if you want to unmute, we would love to hear your takeaway, girl.
All right. Can you hear me? Okay. So I've got two things. The first one is Debbie Neal said, you don't get paid to think about Arbonne. And I think about Arbonne a lot. But if I don't turn that into activity, then it's not pushing me forward where I want to be. And the second thing is one of the most impactful things, they had, I don't know, maybe 10 people on stage, and they just went down the line because of the person in front of them, because they had courage. This is what I was able to do. And their stories were just amazing. And it just went down the line of the impact that they made. And that really stood out to me, that just like they were saying, we can be the answer to someone's prayer and make an impact in their lives. So that was it. Thanks, Missy.
That's awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, it is crazy that, you know, I think, Renee, you kind of said it too about preparing for impact. And it's not only impact that's going to happen in our own family. And I'm not saying that to cause anyone to feel fear or afraid, but I am telling you that there is going to come a time when you have aging parents that need you. There is going to come a time when you have a child that has been given an opportunity and you need the time and the money to make it happen. There is going to be a time when you have a friend who gets sick and you want to be able to be there. And so you build it before you need it. And you also build it because by you being willing to be consistent and be self-disciplined and to show up every day, you get to make an impact on their life, whether or not they're in Arbonne. One of the things Carrie Kane shared at GTC was one of the greatest gifts that Arbonne has given her was she financially, because of what she had built, was able to pay for a nanny for one of her former teachers who got diagnosed with cancer and needed help in her home. So she made an impact on that woman and her family. And it wasn't because that lady decided to join Arbonne. It's because of her extra. She got to be a huge blessing and really give that woman and her family time in her last days. And I think that's really the heartbeat. And I will say that you are not in this team on accident. You have not been brought into Arbonne on accident, that you are a part of a culture and a community like Nicole was talking about, with people with huge vision and huge purpose and a huge calling. And so what I want to challenge you guys to do is to take these nuggets, to write them down, to revisit them, to relook at them, and to implement them. Don't let it just be this place where you get knowledge and then you don't apply it. Don't get a tip from Debbie Neal and then not do something with it. Okay? So we have 16 days left in this month. we have 16 days for you to make this your biggest and best month ever. And it is not an accident that everyone in this team got to go to an impact in the first half of the month. There's still impacts happening later this month, but we get the advantage of being a part of this at the beginning of the month to really propel us. So let's not take advantage of it. Let's not squander it. Let's not squash it, but let's really go out on purpose, because when we are sharing this from a place of wanting to serve others and looking for opportunities, it does dispel those fears, those nerves, that needing to be perfect, and really equips us to just step into what we know that we have been called to do. So last thing that I want to share is everybody built great relationships over the last 2 weekends. So again, take advantage of that. If tomorrow morning you wake up, or tonight you're like, I'm going to do so much for my business tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow morning you wake up and like you're frozen in fear, you need to reach out to somebody that you went to impact with, and you need to say, I am stuck, like give me a little kick in the butt, or hold me accountable, or will you hold my hand, or will you give me some like some feedback on this verbiage, and use this community to keep propelling yourself forward. All it takes is doing the next right thing. That is all this is. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't look at giant picture. Just be willing to consistently go do the next right thing. And the sooner you do the next right thing, and the more quickly you keep doing the next right things, the more you're going to see that harvest and those results come. So I love you all so much. We love you guys so much. I just hope that you know that on every level, and that there is just such great purpose and calling for every single one of you. So thank you again for sharing, Megan. You did an incredible job facilitating this. You are the next region in this nation, and I can't wait to see that happen. And so just love you guys so much. So have a great Sunday night. Thanks for hopping on, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks, Lori, for recording it too. Appreciate that.